Hi, my name is Jan McKenzie, and I am your host tonight for our fourth webinar by the 99s. I'm from the Colorado chapter in the South Central section. I'm currently have the honor of being your International Vice President. And I'm going to talk about a few things, just logistics of how we're going to go through this webinar. Jackie, if you could go to the next slide.
And it's not working. Okay, let me go back and we will get this. Okay.
Okay. If you're not receiving the audio, check your control panel. If it's not visible, click on the little arrow to reveal it. You'll see that a little orange arrow there. And then click on Audio Setup to bring up the audio screen. And next slide, Jackie. Okay, we cannot hear you. Everyone is muted. That is because if everybody was on the audio, there would be way too much background noise and nobody could hear. But anytime you have a question, if you go to the next slide, anytime you have a question, you can just click on to the right, on the right side. Questions can be written and submitted from the bottom of your control panel. Click on this box, type in the question, and hit send. At the end of the presentation, I will read off the questions and we will answer all of your questions. So your presenter tonight is Jackie Boyd. She is permanent trustee and co-chair of the Amelia Earhart Scholarship. She's from the Rio Grande Norte chapter, South Central section, a member since 1975. So Jackie, if you would go ahead and take us through the Amelia Earhart scholarships.
All right, thank you. First, just a little bit of contact information. If you want to go back and review the slides from the webinar, I just want to give you our contact information. Peggy Doyle and I are co-chairs, and you can email aechair@99s.org, and both of us will get that email. You can call my home phone number or my cell phone number. And you can also contact the other AE trustees if you'd like. And later on in the presentation, when we have the question and answer period, Shelley Ventura, who basically heads the Fly Now scholarship applications, and Ellen Herring, who takes care of the regular applications, will also be online to answer any questions you might have. So we'd just like to thank everybody for this opportunity to present a webinar. I know there are always a lot of questions about the scholarships, and we hope this generates some really great discussion. Here you can see the Amelia Earhart Scholarship Medal. Anyone who has received a scholarship and finishes their rating receives one of these medals. And this is just kind of a sampling of people who have been AE scholarship recipients. You can see that we have multi-engine ratings, helicopter ratings, and a couple of our Fly Now recipients are represented. Since the scholarship was established in 1941, the AE Scholarship Fund has awarded over 600 scholarships. And those scholarships have included multi-engine ratings, flight instructor ratings, instrument ratings, commercial ratings. We've awarded more than 60 ATP ratings through the years and over 45 academic scholarships, which have included bachelor's degrees in aviation science and management, master's degrees in management and aerospace studies and aerospace education. The scholarships have included various helicopter ratings, ag training, backcountry mountain flying, tail wheel endorsements, and every other rating that you see listed here. The unique property of the AE scholarships is we give you what you need when you need it. It's the thing that really makes our scholarships unique. Now let's talk about the types of scholarships that we have available. The first one is the Fly Now Award. Then the AE Memorial Scholarships, which include flight training scholarships, jet type ratings, academic scholarships, technical training, the Vicky Cruz Emergency Maneuver Training, and our newest, the Kitty Houghton Memorial Scholarship for Women in Developing Countries. The fourth type of scholarship that's available is the Research Scholar Grant. Now, let's talk a little bit more in depth about the Fly Now Award. The Fly Now Award is one of the newer awards. You might have heard of it as the New Pilot Award previously, but we have changed some of the things, and we'll talk about that now. The applicant must be a student pilot member of the 99s. There is no length of membership requirement, and the applicant doesn't need to have soloed or passed their written exam. The applicant has to demonstrate some financial need. And the most unique part of this award is the applicant must have a mentor who is a member of the 99s. With the Fly Now Award, the monetary awards are made after each winning candidate passes a new milestone. And milestones do not need to be completed in the order that are listed below. Milestone 1 is passing the written knowledge exam, and that's a $500 award. Milestone 2 is your first solo, and that's a $1,000 award. Milestone 3 is your long cross-country solo flight, and that's $1,000. Milestone 4 is receiving your FAA or equivalent flight certificate, and that's $500. Then, welcome to the 99s. There are two application periods, one in the fall and one in the spring. The deadline for the current application period is September 15th, so you do have time to get that application in. The application and more specific information concerning the process is available on the 99's website. If you go to the website address, in the heading, pull down from the Resource Center, and then the AE Memorial Scholarships pull-down menu will show you where to bring up the information on the Fly Now Award. Now let's talk a bit about the AE Memorial Scholarships. All applicants must be a member of the 99s, and there is a one-year membership requirement. But that one-year membership can also include your time as a student pilot member. The flight training scholarships are a fully paid scholarship to complete an additional pilot certificate or rating or pilot training course. We give you the complete amount for what you tell us you need to complete your course. Examples are multi-engine rating, the commercial certificate, and instrument rating. This one, the flight training scholarship, excludes the type ratings. The requirements on this, you must be a current pilot with the appropriate medical certificate and must be approaching the flight time requirement for the rating or the certificate, if any. One of the things that the trustees look for particularly with the medical certificate, is if you are applying for a rating that requires eventually a first-class medical, can you actually obtain that medical? The type rating scholarships are next, and this is also a fully paid scholarship to complete a type rating certification in any aircraft. The examples are a Citation, Boeing 737. We have had people get their ratings in 737s, 747s. You must be a current airline transport pilot with a first-class medical certificate or the non-U.S. equivalent and have at least 100 hours multi-engine flight time or combined multi-engine and turbine time. The next type is the academic scholarship, and this is a tuition scholarship. It pays up to $5,000 toward 1 year of a college degree in aviation or aerospace. Students may reapply for continuing support through graduation of your program. Examples are an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, or a doctorate in fields such as aerospace engineering, aviation business management, air traffic management, or some of the professional pilot programs. The flight training may be included in this if it's integral to the curriculum of the program that you've applied for. You must be currently enrolled in a school. We need to see that you have been accepted to the program. And you have to maintain a cumulative grade point average of 3.0 or better on a 4.0 scale or the equivalent. The technical training scholarship is a fully paid scholarship to complete an aviation or aerospace technical training or certification course. We've had people use this for airframe or power plant ratings, a dispatcher certificate, air traffic control training, government or manufacturer safety training course. This excludes any flight training and any technical training that is part of a college degree program. The next one is an emergency maneuver training scholarship, and this was given in memory of Vicki Cruz. This is a fully paid scholarship to provide emergency maneuver and spin training in addition to an introduction to aerobatics. The 99s, without regard to existing ratings, financial need, or length of membership, will consider your application for this. Complete details about the training can be found in the application package on the 99's website. The newest scholarship that we are going to be offering is in memory of a former 99, Kitty Houghton, who devoted her life to help people improve their life situation and the situation of those around them. She used her talents in aviation and linguistics to help those in need. Kitty acted as a liaison to several of the foreign chapters. This is an international scholarship, and it was designed for a 99 who is from an emerging economy. An emerging economic country is defined as one not in the G20 member countries. This award is for $3,000 for education in flight training or a related field of aviation study that will directly or indirectly bring improved health and education to the people of her country. And since this is a new scholarship, We will be working with the applicants to define their needs. You need to check the 99's website and download the application for more specific information. For these scholarships, each applicant who belongs to a chapter needs to request a recommendation from her chapter. Each chapter Amelia Earhart Memorial Scholarship Chairman should notify their members to submit their scholarship applications by December 1st of this year for these applications, and then should complete the 99's recommendation for the applicant. The chapter AE chair must send recommended applications directly to her section chair by December 20th.
Oh, yeah.
Now, their
I'm listening to the webinar.
Applications and a more detailed fact sheet for each
I'm
of
just on
these are
as a
available
listener this time.
on the 99's website.
Right.
Again, under Resource Center, you do the heading and then pull down from the AE Memorial Scholarship menu. The last type that are available are the Research Scholar Grants. And this grant may be used in conjunction with other research activities, such as completion of a research requirement for an advanced degree. It can be used as matching funds with other grants to fund a program larger than either grant could sponsor independently. And the Research Scholar Grant must address at least one of the following areas. Either the documented history of the woman's place in the development and furtherance of aviation and aerospace, or documentation of the fostering the leadership role of women in all facets of aviation, including social, economic, engineering, historical, political arenas. It can also be to further the expansion of human knowledge in areas of specific differences faced by women in aviation, as pilots, as engineers, as administrators, in military aviation, etc. Special disciplines applied to these problems could include history, sociology, psychology, biology, and others. We also have the ability to sponsor a non-99's research. The book that was written by Martha Ackman on the Mercury 13, Martha was not a 99, but her research was sponsored by Petra Illig, who is a 99. And all the outcome of the research is then owned by the 99's and held in the Museum of Women Pilots for researchers. That's a very brief overview of the entire scholarship opportunities that are offered by the Amelia Earhart Memorial Scholarship Fund. So, if you have questions, Jan, I'll let you read them for us.
Okay, my first three questions are all identical. They are with about the Fly Now. So Shelley, you may want to answer this. All three questions are, what is the best way to get in touch with a potential mentor? How do I get a mentor? For Fly Now applications, how do I get a mentor?
Well, hello, everybody. Yeah, your best bet is to work directly with your chapter. You know, go to your AE chapter chair first and discuss the need for the mentor. You know, attend meetings. I know that now we're looking at only a week until you need to submit to the chapter, but talk with the AE chair, talk with your chapter chair, and any other chapter members that you're familiar with. It starts there. If you know someone in another chapter that's not a member of your chapter, as long as they're a member, they can act as mentor.
So basically any other 99, it doesn't necessarily have to be in your chapter, but any other 99, you could contact and ask to be your mentor.
That's correct. Your best option is to have someone within your own chapter because that's who you're going to have the most connection with, hopefully. But any 99s member can act as a mentor.
Thanks, Shelley. Next question, Jackie, is what age can I become a mentor and a member? And this came up after you started into the AE scholarship.
Well, you have to have your pilot's license to be a member of the 99s. And so that starts the age process right there. Does that answer that?
So it's when the age that when you solo and you become
when you get your license, and I believe that's 17.
17 to be a student pilot.
Right.
Okay, next question was, will these PowerPoint slides be available to us? Would be very helpful as we explain to our chapter members. And the answer to that is yes. This is being recorded right now as we speak. And then this recording will be uploaded to the 99's website. Jan McKenzie, will put out a notice on the 399 forums saying that once it is uploaded, usually takes a couple days to get that done at headquarters. Once it is uploaded, I'll put out a notice on the 99's forums and let everybody know that they are uploaded. Next question is, I went to the drop-down menu on the website and was not able to access the application. Is there anywhere else I could find it?
Is this the AE scholarship application?
The person did not say, so I would assume that because the question came in while you were talking about the AE scholarship.
And Ellen can correct me, but I don't believe that the AE applications are up online yet.
Yes, that's correct. We are hoping to get them up within a week. That's our goal. We've got almost everything ready to be put up. Just a couple more things to do, and they'll be up.
Okay, that's great. And the next one was, can I get your phone numbers one more time? So, Jackie, if you could go back to that slide that
Absolutely. Let's... Okay, here's my information, but also feel free to go to the online directory, and all of our emails are listed there and also our contact information. But please feel free to use my home number, which is 575-377-3166, or my cell phone number, or contact me directly with my email, which is jackiebboyd@yahoo.com. And everyone...
This is Shelley. I'd just like to interject. We also now have we have a fly now at 99s.org, which will come to me, and we also have an AE app at 99s.org that will go to Ellen and me.
Okay, thanks, Shelley and Jackie. Next question, excellent question. If someone is a glider pilot and wants to get her airplane single-engine land license, would she qualify for a Fly Now or for the Amelia Earhart Flight Training Scholarship?
Ellen, do you want to take that one?
Not sure we can answer that one. We've had this discussion before and not always agreed whether or not they could even find a scholarship. for someone who wants to upgrade from a glider to a private pilot because it's not considered an advanced rating.
Right. One of the things is we are looking beyond the initial ratings, and when you take a look at the applications, there has to be a real need for why you're asking for a particular rating. If it will further a career and it's an advanced rating, then we consider it. And so you have to be really very careful and concise about why it is that rating is important to the progression of your aviation future.
Okay, the next question is approximately how many apply for the Fly Now scholarship and how many are accepted?
Shelley?
Well, we've had a huge response to the Fly Now. I think for our first offering in the fall of 2013, we had 54 or 55 applicants, and we awarded 9, I believe. This past spring, we had another 50, but we awarded 17. So we've had 26 winners so far, and I'm gearing up for another round in the next few weeks.
It's actually really excellent, 26 during this last year. That's excellent.
Yes. And when we take a look at the funding that's available, we use 5% of a 3-year average of the interest that's earned by the monies that are in the scholarship. And right now we have about $5 million in the scholarship fund, but we only use the interest from that. And it's one of the reasons that we've been able to sustain this scholarship since 1941. And so once we have the information about what money we have to work with, then we can make the decisions about the number of ratings we can give from the number of applications that we receive.
Okay, next question. What are good ways to demonstrate a financial need? This is an excellent question.
We have had applicants who will include a tax return. We've not made that mandatory. There are several scholarships that do ask for a tax return. We like to have people in the chapter also confirm that there is financial need. We understand that, you know, when you're living with a family of 4, on what you make, we kind of take into account where you live, what the cost of flying is in the various areas. So it's something that we look at a lot of different resources to demonstrate financial need.
Next question.
And Jackie, you might want to mention that we also, well, Jan, consider that we look at student loans that still have to be paid back,
Yes.
other sorts of debt, and that can go to show the financial need as well.
Okay, next question. As a former member, does your time from years ago count towards your 1-year membership and qualify you for scholarships?
You know, this is something that was discussed when the organization did the, and for lack of a better term, kind of buyback of former years. And we've not run onto the situation yet. But if you can demonstrate continuous membership, then I think you could bring in former years membership. But I think at this stage of the game, we need to see at least 1 year of continuous membership when you have applied for the scholarship.
Okay. I'd like to find out more about what kind of research projects have been funded in the past for the Research Grants Program.
Well, this is Jackie. I can speak directly to that one because I got the Research Scholar Grant in 1994 when I did research on maternity policies for female pilots. And the grant supported my research in that arena. We've had several, Dorothy Nyhart got with the first Research Scholar Grant. She developed a bibliography on female pilots, and that's housed in the Museum of Women Pilots at the 99's headquarters. We've had grants that have supported work on physiology and female pilots. Right now, Bobby Rowe is finishing up a research grant on digitizing the 99 News so that it will be more accessible for researchers. Peggy Loeffler is doing a grant right now that's working with a museum in New England to develop lost the word, to develop a program on female pilots in New England. Whenever a research grant is applied for, I'll take a look at it and give my bottom line kind of recommendation to the trustees. But then we always send the research grant application out to at least 2 outside judges. And those judges can be with aviation museums or universities or other research facilities, and they look at the grant and give us an idea about what they think the value of that grant would be to the 99s and to the community of women pilots as a whole. And there are no deadlines for this grant. You apply whenever, and we kind of have before rolled with academic year timing. So with this grant, it's handled a little bit differently than the regular scholarships.
Okay, next question is, you mentioned that for the AE scholarship, you need to be able to qualify for the medical required for that rating. How do you prove that, or how do you prove you have that medical?
Well, the medical is sent in, a copy of the medical is sent in with your application, and there is a time period provided for the applicant to send in updates. And if whatever rating you've applied for requires a first-class medical, we expect to be able to see a copy of your first-class medical that's current. And so that's how you show us that you're able to use the rating that you're applying for.
So the question, should an applicant get the required medical? The answer is yes. You need to get the required medical and send it in.
Yes.
Okay, what do you look for when determining financial need? I think maybe you can just summarize that again one more time.
Well, you know, we will consider, as Shelley said, outstanding loans for school, those sorts of things. What we want to look for is, who is it that's supporting you? Are you supporting yourself? If you're the head of a family, we do take into consideration joint income, but there are a lot of things that go into that consideration too. If you've got if the applicant has kids in college, there also pulls on the income. So a lot of times, like I said, we have had applicants send in a tax return, not the whole thing, just that shows gross income, and then the letter that we get from the applicant also explains the situation And you can deal with financial income within that letter, too.
And again, another question about it. Please explain financial need criteria for Fly Now Award. Is that maybe a good way of saying that? Is that the same type of financial need as you're looking for the Amelia Earhart Scholarship, or is there a difference in the financial needs that you're looking for?
There's really no difference. We are looking for financial need. Someone that is able to completely finance their flight education probably doesn't need the $3,000 that we're offering. They need to show that this money is needed to help them complete.
Okay, next question. Could you confirm the timeline that the training needs to be completed once the scholarship is received?
Well, I can speak to the Fly Now. Okay, so for the Fly Now, the applications need to be to the chapter by September 15th. The chapter then has 2 weeks to review and decide whether or not to send the application on. They need to fill out their recommendation and certification. Then they send on to the trustee, which in this case will be me, by September 30th. Within the next 3 to 4 weeks, we will meet as a trust and determine who is going to be the recipients. And they have 1 year from, well, this first one is October 31st. They have to be complete. So they'll get their notification no later than October 1st. They need to be complete by October 31st of 2015. Ellen, you want to chime in on the AEs?
The AE is very similar. All the scholarship recipients will be notified by the 10th of May, and then they must finish their rating by June 30th of the following year.
Okay, next is hello from Fort Myers, Florida. I have no questions, but just wanted to thank you for your webinar today. Kind regards, and I think that's Jolie. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. All right, next is, it's a similar question, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it. What is the financial need defined for the Fly Now scholarships? Say someone has money set aside specifically for license rating, but has a low income. In other words, they have money set aside for the license rating, but they have a low income. Are they still going to be eligible for a Fly Now scholarship?
I would say they absolutely should apply for the scholarship. If they have a low income, the fact that they have money set aside and that they're showing that initiative to pursue this certificate on their own, it is not going to be a disqualifying factor. Would you agree, Jackie?
I would. You know, I think when we talk about financial need, this scholarship is there to help our members down the road with the aviation, in the aviation world. And if you need help and can document that you need that help, then you need to apply for the scholarship.
It is important to note that the award, the Fly Now award, is paid out after they've achieved that milestone. So they do need to have some way of financing their training while they work towards that milestone. The milestone, when they achieve it, they get paid back. That may open some more questions. So I'll wait now.
Next question is, any recommendations for applying internationally from Canada for a Fly Now scholarship?
allow enough time for it to get to your chapter. We definitely encourage electronic submissions. That could help with the overseas and crossing borders and so forth. So make sure that you have been in contact with your chapter so that they're not caught off guard and trying to get a recommendation together at the last minute. Start talking to them as early as you can. If it's not for this next deadline, September 15th, it's offered again next March with the same sort of timeline. But I'd recommend getting started early.
Next question. How many times can I apply for scholarships even if I win it this year?
You can apply as many times as you need to. We've had several people be repeat winners through the years. And also, if you apply and are not a recipient, don't let that stop you from applying again the next year. There have been several people through the years who have applied once and twice and been able to receive it on the third application. And so there isn't a limit per se, and particularly with the academic scholarships, if you are in your freshman year, we would gladly support you through the graduation process. So you could have an academic scholarship for 4 years.
Someone answered a question that was asked earlier. Peggy wrote in to say student pilot is 16 years to solo, 17 to get a license.
Right.
Next question, what is a G20 member country? I don't know that one either.
It's a designation for developing countries, and it has to do with the economics of the country. If you go online and Google the G20 designation, it will give you a list of the countries that qualify under that designation.
Okay, next one is I am enrolled in a university and pursuing a bachelor's degree majoring in geography. I am doing my flight training at a flight school since there is no aviation degree program offered where I live. Would I be able to apply for an academic scholarship in addition to the AE Memorial Scholarship?
No. The academic scholarship is for an aviation program at a university or a college. If the flight school, I would apply for a regular AE scholarship for the next rating that would be coming up in your progression.
Okay, if
they're pursuing their primary certificate, then they could apply for the fly now.
Right.
Yes.
Next question, if I am new to aviation and going for private pilot and eventually to commercial, can I apply for a flight training scholarship? Do I apply for private, do I apply for a private or a commercial? I have a student certificate now.
With a student certificate, the only award that they are eligible for is the Fly Now award. The AE scholarships are for further ratings. They have to already have a certificate, a private pilot certificate, minimum.
And here's a great question for just those who have attended this webinar. Do you have any recommendation to make your application stand out when applying for a scholarship for an advanced type rating?
Well, that's kind of laughing here.
Well, that's why they're attending the webinar, so they can learn something new.
The biggest thing you need to do is read the application. Now, I know that sounds elementary, but read through the entire application, read through the fact sheets. There are a lot of pieces of information in the total package that will really help explain what you need to do with the application. But as always with any application, read it completely and fill it out completely. And that's one of the biggest things that you can do for a success on any scholarship application.
Another thing I'd like to add to that is total honesty. We can see through a lot of things, and if you're not totally honest, you can just not bother.
A question says, I joined late, can I get the website? I'm not sure exactly what that question means, but I'm assuming that question means I joined late, so could I watch the whole recording from the website? And the answer will be yes. Give us a couple days to get this uploaded to the 99 website, but the entire recording will be there. Okay, next question. Can we apply if we apply for other scholarships that aren't with the 99s?
Absolutely. You know, one of the things on the application that you'll see when you fill it out is we do ask for a listing of other scholarships that might have been applied for. We keep in close contact with Women in Aviation and know what scholarships have been awarded there, because there are times when people might have applied for the same kinds of ratings with different organizations, and so we do keep track of that information. But absolutely, you know, apply for this one and apply for every other one you're eligible for.
Next question, does the Emergency Maneuver Scholarship also include rotorcraft emergency training?
Wow, that's a great question, and I can't answer that. But if whoever asked that would like to email me, I'll find out the answer to that one.
The person was Marine. So Marine, if you are still online, which I think you are, just email Jackie directly with that one. The next question is, the deadline is the 15th of this month. We need to have the application before the deadline. I think there might be some confusion about the deadline for the Fly Now versus the application for the AE.
Yes, the Fly Now application is due to the chapters by the 15th of this month. It's been up on the website for since the end of July. It's available to you now. The AE scholarships are not due to their chapters until December 1st, and they will be available within the next week or so. We're shooting for the end of this week.
How much time do the reviewers spend reading each application, particularly the essay?
Oh, forever.
A lot of your life, huh?
Yes.
During application review, it is our lives.
And we get those applications, what, in February? And then we have our spring meeting typically at the end of March. And we spend 3 or 4 days together discussing and going through the applications. And then coming up with a list of finalists. And that list of finalists is then sent to a group of outside judges. And I've been the one the last couple of years who has gotten them. And we get the outside judges' scores, combine them with our scores, and then make notification to the recipients, typically by the end of April, the first part of May, So that process basically is 3 months long.
You know, when we get together for our 3 or 4 days, we've already spent a great deal of time independently, individually, reading each application and reviewing all the documents that come attached, reading all the letters of recommendation. I think we had over 60 last spring. Was that sound about right?
Yeah.
And I had to give myself a checklist of all the names and check off maybe 4 per evening because that's all I could digest.
I would also like to say we do not save applications from year to year for the unsuccessful candidates. So if you think that somebody's going to think, oh, she said something like this last year, or they already know all about this, no, we don't know all about this. We start fresh every year. So please feel free to apply again if you haven't succeeded in the past. Or even if you have another one.
In regards to having a financial needs, how can you effectively communicate that you actually have a financial need without presenting your financial information, like your budget and bills? I'm fortunate to have my husband allow me to take some time off from working to complete my instrument commercial ratings. I have my own airplane, but this situation doesn't mean that I'm financially able to complete my ratings without major challenges. What do you recommend? This year, my husband and I will owe a major tax bill. I can present that with my application.
I think the more complete you make your application and the more you spell out your situation for us, the better that is. And also, whoever does your letter of recommendation from your chapter would probably know your situation fairly well. And when your chapter has to, one of the things that a chapter has to do is also confirm your financial need. And so you can have that kind of confirmation on your information too.
They add a second part to this question stating that once they complete their IFR rating, they have to rent a complex aircraft to complete the commercial as well. So would that be important to add that you have to, even though you own your own airplane, maybe to get your IFR, to get a commercial, you've got to go out and rent an aircraft because that has to be a complex aircraft. So is that important information to add to the application?
Yes, and I think we also need to make it fairly clear that you can apply for one rating. And so you apply for the rating that you need at the time. And so we don't give a scholarship for 2 ratings at the same time.
So apply for instrument or commercial, but just one at a time.
Right.
Are electronic submissions working well at this time, or do you recommend paper?
Well, we're struggling with electronic submissions because technology is getting better all the time, and we have rewritten the applications for this next year so that we have the signatures coming all at the end of the application instead of right in the middle or at the beginning. So we're hoping that this will make it easier for people with electronic signatures. There may be problems if people they send it electronically and perhaps their section chair doesn't know how to sign it. So there may be a few issues that way. You can always print it off and send it, and we will accept copies of the applications if you keep the original and make sure you have original signatures on yours if you want to end up sending it electronically. Or along the way, someone along the way wants to do that.
We do accept it if it's scanned and emailed, but we may be requesting the actual ink signature or the original document that shows the electronic signature. So just be prepared to send that upon request.
Typically, how many applications do you receive for the scholarships for type ratings? For example, 737 type ratings.
Maybe 3 or 4 a year.
I'm just going to keep going here because we're running out of time and there's more questions. If you have substantial student loan debt, would you want to see current statements showing indebtedness?
I think the more information you can provide to us, the better off you are.
The letter of recommendation for a Fly Now award, can you expand on what you're looking for from that recommendation?
Well, there are two. There's a reference letter from someone outside of aviation that goes towards character and the person. The 99's recommendation, there are specific points that we ask them to cover that are right on the application. What their involvement with the chapter has been, what the likelihood is that they will succeed at obtaining their certificate, what initiative they've shown to date towards achieving that certificate.
What is the cost of membership with the 99s? I believe I can answer that. It's $65 a year. And I tell you what, if you get your 737 rating or your commercial rating or your instrument rating, that's the best ROI, return on investment, I could ever imagine in life.
Yes.
Do you entertain pictures with the application?
No.
No.
No, but we do need them immediately afterwards. And that is an important point because we're usually under a very tight deadline to get it into the 99 News. So as soon as we notify someone that they're a winner, we need their bio and their photo so we can send it on.
So once you're a winner, then you do need the picture.
Yes, we do.
Okay, I'm looking for clarification on the AE scholarship. I have a private pilot's license and am pursuing a night rating and a commercial license. Would the funding be issued for the private license, commercial, or all of the training?
It has to be for something other than your initial rating. The AE scholarship is not for your private license. Anything that comes after that the AE scholarship can be used for. If you need help with the private, that's where the Fly Now Scholar Award comes in.
Jenna says, thank you from Winnipeg. Next question. Could you estimate the cost that I should prepare for in pursuit of my private pilot license?
Wow.
Well, that depends on where you live because it's going to be more expensive in so much from place to place.
Yeah, the Fly Now Award, though, is specific payments per milestone achieved. It is not the same as the AE scholarships, which pay for the entire rating. The Fly Now is up to $3,000. The cost for the full rating can vary all over the country and depending on what you've done so far and how much independent work you're willing to do, especially towards the written.
Does applying for another scholarship outside the 99s work against the applicant?
No.
No, I don't think so at all.
Wouldn't even necessarily know, right?
We know, we ask them, but
Okay.
that does not held against them.
Okay. How many applications do you get for the AE scholarships and how many are awarded?
We have had up to 80 applications. The number that we can award is based on 5% of the interest earned in an average of a 3-year period. And so it varies every year. I can't give you anything that's hard and fast about that.
Each scholarship is a different dollar amount, so you know, if we had a slew of low dollar amounts, we might be able to award a lot of those, whereas a jet type rating is going to be a much larger sum of money.
Right.
So it's not like Jackie said, it is not a set number of scholarships. We have a dollar amount that we're working with from year to year.
Is it better to have a letter of recommendation from someone who is in aviation?
It is specifically stated on the application that your letter of recommendation must be from someone outside of aviation. That's very clear on that reference to the letter of recommendation, from your personal letter of recommendation. And we've had to disqualify some applications because their letters come from someone they know or someone that's part of their aviation community.
A lot of it goes back to specifically reading through the application packet first and knowing exactly what's expected of you. If we ask for one letter of recommendation, don't give us 5. You know, it's very specific, and each one has specific points to deal with. So again, read through the application very carefully first.
When you say that you combine scores, are the trustee scores counted as 1 or 5?
There are 6 trustees, and each one of us has a score. And then typically the 3 outside judges, I will average their score, and they're added in as one more score together.
Should an applicant focus most on financial need than introducing myself in the essay for the Fly Now Award?
We want to know about you. We need to know about the financial need, but that is not the whole picture. We want to know what you want to do with this scholarship, why you want to fly.
If I apply to both the Fly Now Scholarship and a 99 chapter scholarship, is the award decision one or the other?
No.
No. The 99 chapter has nothing to do with the Fly Now. You can apply to both. You could win both.
Just one more time about how many of the Fly Now apply.
So we've had over 50 the first time, and I think we had 49 or 50 the spring round. And of that 100 and something, we've awarded 26.
And the very last is a comment. Thank you for your time, guys. This has been very useful information. That's from Hillary.
Oh, we hope so.
Okay, I appreciate everybody going over a couple of minutes, because that did get us to the end of the questions. I want to thank Jackie, Shelley, and Ellen. We had a tremendous amount of attendees with a lot of interest, and this, without a doubt, is the most questions I've ever seen on a webinar. All of us appreciate your time and effort to do this for us. So once again, this webinar is recorded, and we will upload this to the 99's website. So thank you also again to all the attendees along with the presenters. And good night, and hopefully we'll talk to everybody at our next webinar in November.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.